Imagine this. You are in another country, maybe in the Middle East, maybe in the United States, maybe in Europe, and then you hear someone say the word chokoleyt instead of chocolate. Suddenly, you smile. You know right away that person is Filipino. The Filipino accent has this charm that is instantly recognizable, instantly warm, and to many people around the world, instantly attractive. Some call it funny, some call it cute, but more and more, people are saying it is the sexiest accent in Asia. And today, we are going to explore why. The Filipino accent is more than just a way of speaking English. It is a reflection of history, culture, and even survival. It is an accent shaped by colonial past, global migration, and our own love of humor and adaptation. If you listen carefully, the Filipino accent is like a storybook. It tells you about the Philippines without even showing you a map. It has traces of Spanish rhythm, American influence, and local languages like Tagalog, Bisaya, and Ilocano blending all together. But before we go deep into the history, let's have some fun. Because part of what makes the Filipino accent so lovable is the way Filipinos transform English words into something uniquely ours. When a Filipino says chocolate, you will rarely hear the British chokoleyt or the American chocolate. Instead, it becomes chokoleyt. It rolls off the tongue in a way that sounds playful, almost childlike, and yet it sticks with you. Take the word diabetes. For most of the world, it is diabetes, or sometimes diabetes. In the Philippines, you will hear diabetes. Straightforward, confident, and unapologetically Filipino. Or let's talk about medicine. That menthol rub everyone's grandmother used for colds and body aches? In English, it is called Vicks VapoRub. But in the Philippines, it is always just Vicks. No extra syllables, no brand confusion. Even if it is a generic brand, we call it Vicks. Food, of course, has its own special place in Filipino pronunciation. The famous Italian pasta spaghetti becomes ispageti, and not just any spaghetti. It is sweet, red, and almost always cooked with hot dogs. That is the Filipino way. And when it comes to transportation, the Filipino accent never disappoints. A tricycle is no longer tricycle, the way foreigners might say it. It becomes tricycle. A taxi is not taxi, but taxi. A motorcycle turns into motorcycle. And traffic, oh yes, the thing Filipinos complain about daily is always traffic. Even if you are just walking in the street, if there are too many people, you will hear someone complain, ang traffic. The Filipino accent extends to technology and school life too. A computer is pronounced computer. An assignment is assignment. And let us not forget hygiene products. Toothpaste, regardless of brand, is simply Kolgeyt. Shampoo, no matter if it is Head & Shoulders or Palmolive, it will always be shampoo. These examples are funny and endearing, but they reveal something deeper. The Filipino accent is shaped by practicality. We take English words, adjust them to fit Filipino speech patterns, and make them easier to say with our native tongue. We simplify, we adapt, we own it. And that is exactly what makes the accent sexy. It shows confidence and creativity. Now, let us get into why the Filipino accent is actually considered one of the most attractive in Asia. First, the Filipino accent has a unique rhythm. English is normally a stress-timed language, meaning some syllables are stressed longer than others. Filipino languages, however, are syllable-timed, which means each syllable gets almost equal weight. This is why when Filipinos speak English, it has a sing-song quality. It sounds musical. It sounds like the speaker is singing while talking. To many foreigners, this is captivating. Second, the Filipino accent carries warmth. When Filipinos speak, it is not just about pronunciation. It is about tone. Filipinos often sound friendly, enthusiastic, and approachable. Even in professional settings, the accent carries a sense of kindness. Imagine calling a customer service hotline and hearing a Filipino agent. You can almost hear the smile in their voice. That is not just good service, it is cultural. Filipinos naturally put emotion into their words, and that makes the accent sound sexy to others. Third, the Filipino accent is global yet unique. Because of our history, Filipinos have been exposed to multiple influences. Spanish colonization left behind certain sounds, like how we roll our R's or pronounce vowels clearly. American colonization introduced English in schools, making us one of the largest English-speaking nations in Asia. But instead of copying accents perfectly, Filipinos created their own version. It is not purely American, not purely British, not purely Asian, it is distinctly Filipino. Fourth, the accent is easy to understand. Compared to other Asian accents, the Filipino way of speaking English is often clearer to international ears. This is why call centers in the Philippines thrive. Companies know that customers in the US, Canada, and Europe can understand Filipinos easily. And when something is easy to understand yet still charmingly unique, it becomes attractive. Fifth, the Filipino accent often comes with confidence in switching languages. Most Filipinos are bilingual or even trilingual. A conversation might flow from English to Tagalog to Bisaya and back to English again, all in the same sentence. This flexibility impresses foreigners. They see it as a sign of intelligence and adaptability. And when someone speaks with confidence in multiple languages, it naturally makes them more appealing. But let us not forget humor. The Filipino accent shines because it is never boring. Filipinos love to make fun of their own way of speaking, and that humor becomes part of the charm. We laugh at how we pronounce tropic or shampoo, but the laughter comes with pride. Because at the end of the day, this accent belongs to us. Now, let us zoom out and look at how the world sees the Filipino accent. Over the years, surveys and studies about the world's sexiest accents often put Filipinos high on the list. While British, French, and Italian accents dominate globally, in Asia, the Filipino accent is often praised for being cute, charming, and memorable. Travel vloggers visiting the Philippines often comment on how they love the way locals speak English. They describe it as sweet, melodic, and easy on the ears. Celebrities and influencers also play a role. Think about Filipinos who have made it big internationally. Lea Salonga, known for her Broadway roles and Disney princess voices, or Manny Pacquiao, who despite being teased for his English, has captured the hearts of fans worldwide with his sincerity. Even in music and beauty pageants, the Filipino accent stands out. When Miss Universe contestants from the Philippines answer in English, the world listens. Their accent is instantly recognized and often praised for being clear yet uniquely Filipino. Another reason the Filipino accent is attractive is because it reflects resilience. Filipinos have faced colonization, poverty, and countless challenges, yet we continue to smile, sing, and speak with confidence. The accent carries that spirit. It is a reminder that despite struggles, Filipinos remain joyful and hopeful. And nothing is sexier than resilience mixed with warmth. Think about it. When a Filipino says chokoleyt with a big smile, they are not just pronouncing a word. They are inviting you into their culture. When they say ispageti and serve you a plate with hot dogs, they are sharing family traditions. When they say tropic while walking, they are reminding you of the humor we use to survive daily challenges. The Filipino accent is not just about sounds, it is about identity. Let us also compare it with other Asian accents to understand why it stands out. For example, some East Asian accents like Chinese or Japanese English are sometimes harder for Western ears to understand because of differences in consonant and vowel systems. Meanwhile, South Asian accents, like Indian English, can be strong and distinct, but sometimes carry stereotypes. The Filipino accent, on the other hand, balances clarity with uniqueness. It does not sound too foreign, yet it is clearly different. It is the middle ground that feels familiar and exotic at the same time. Another fascinating point is how the Filipino accent adapts depending on region. In Manila, the accent might be closer to American English because of exposure to media. In Visayas and Mindanao, the accent might carry a stronger local flavor, making English sound more musical. This diversity adds depth to the Filipino accent. It is not just one way of speaking, it is a whole spectrum. So why do many people find it sexy? Because it is natural. It is not forced. Filipinos are not trying to sound like Americans or British speakers, even if they borrow words. They are simply speaking in a way that feels comfortable. And that authenticity is what draws people in. Let us not forget the role of music. The Philippines is known as a nation of singers. From karaoke nights to international competitions, Filipinos are recognized for their musical talent. That same musicality is present in the way Filipinos speak English. The intonation, the rhythm, the melody, it feels like a song. And that is why listeners find it attractive. Now, here is something important. The Filipino accent is not perfect English, and it does not need to be. For years, some Filipinos felt ashamed of their accent, thinking it was inferior to American or British accents. But today, more and more Filipinos are embracing it. We are realizing that our accent is part of our identity. It is not something to hide. It is something to celebrate, because being understood, being charming, being uniquely Filipino, that is what matters. So the next time you hear someone say diabetes instead of diabetes, or kolgeyt instead of kolgeyt, do not laugh at them. Laugh with them. Appreciate the creativity, the adaptation, the identity that comes with those words. The Filipino accent is not just sexy because of how it sounds. It is sexy because of the story behind it. In the end, what makes the Filipino accent the sexiest in Asia is not just pronunciation. It is the combination of history, humor, resilience, clarity, and warmth. It is the way Filipinos turn English into something that feels like home. It is the way we can make even ordinary words like shampoo sound special. And most of all, it is the way our accent reflects who we are as a people, proud, joyful, and unforgettable. So, do you agree that the Filipino accent is the sexiest in Asia? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and check out our other videos for more fun and fascinating topics. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.